Okay, welcome to part two of day two of me talking about my life, while I also write my play that's sort of about my life. But as I was saying before, part one ended. Um, Hearing that line in All Eyes on Me, um, it got my creative mind thinking, and so I'm a total sucker for show-stopping monologues or scenes or songs in shows, um, and shows that just tear everything down, and they destroy worldviews and things like that, and they change people completely. Like like it would just be like it would be like Valjean's soliloquy from Les Miserables, or something like that. Something that's just so utterly powerful that you can't just help but go. You can't just help but let your jaw. You can't help but let your jaw hit the floor and to just stand up and clap, because what else do you do in a moment like that? And so it made me think, and so I thought of a short. It's like maybe it's like a line or a short little piece I'll put into another show that I might write, or maybe I'll put it into this one where you wake up in the morning, you turn on your TV, you switch to the news, and then you see the latest story about how, you know, death tolls from the virus are rising, and you see the news about social inequality, and you hear about riots and mass shootings happening, not just in the US, but all across the world, and you say to yourself, well, the world is ending. But the thing about that is that the world already ended a long time ago. But enough of that. Let's get to the reason why we're here. Me writing interlude number 2. So the scene ends with mother and son. The scene ends with mother and son finishing lunch, and they drive back home to the parents' house. The transition starts with all the furniture being removed while Baby Come Back by Player plays until the end, where we see Son sitting in a chair illuminated by the spotlight. And so the whole thing with the character of Son being illuminated by a spotlight is what I intend to do for all of the interludes. Because I really like consistency. Yeah, I really like consistency in shows. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll reread interlude 1. My first girlfriend was frankly amazing. She was smart, funny, driven, absolutely beautiful, and she asked me out, which is something that I always figured must happen to me after going my entire 18 years of life without having a girlfriend before, or even my first kiss yet. Her and I had a showmance, which is where you become a couple through a play that you're in together. And she played my opposite in the show, and we actually had a stage kiss. So one time during rehearsal, we are on stage during a scene where it's just the two of us, and instead of saying her line, she instead stands up and asks me to prom. And I remember that all of our friends and classmates were in the audience, and they just blew up when she said that, and looking back on it now, it's actually quite funny to me when I think about it. And then from that point on, we were almost inseparable. We did everything together. And I remember that the show we were in was considered to be one of the best plays that my high school had ever put on. People loved the absolute shit out of that show. Everything was great. A year went by, and I started community college as a physics major. My first year was pretty easy since it was just general education stuff. And then after she graduated, we both ended up going to a university together so that we could be together easier. And my first year at university kicked my fucking ass and made me realize that physics was not for me. So then I switched to history for a year, and around the same time, she switched from journalism to political science. History was not as difficult as physics, but it was just so boring to me, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth. So then, I finally bit the bullet and switched to doing theater, and I fell in love with it immediately. And so, life was basically perfect for me. I was in an amazing relationship with the girl of my dreams. I was studying something that I was truly passionate about and wanted to devote my life to, and I just thought that it couldn't get any better than this. And then she started drinking. Okay, so, let's see. If you ask me, I think that the reason why my relationship with my first girlfriend failed was because she chose alcohol over us. Because she was super duper ultra stressed out because she was in a sorority. She was taking 5 classes every semester, which is way harder than just taking 4. She was she was in both of those things. She was also in like a number of different clubs, and it just, I understand that the stress was obviously getting to her, but there are more. I think that there are healthier ways of dealing with stress than going out to frat parties and getting fucking blackout drunk, and then not being able to stand. And it's even before it happened, I had already told myself that I didn't ever want to drink, mainly because I didn't like the concept of alcohol. I didn't even like the taste or even the smell of it. My family and we went to St. Louis one year and we visited the Anheuser-Busch factory that's there, and I remember we got into the freaking boiler room where they boil the beer or something like that, and the smell was so horrifying it made me pass out. I straight up couldn't. And said, this was before her and I were dating and this and that, and it was just, I already had a dislike of alcohol because I was also pretty convinced that my body just didn't handle it. And like, I'm one of those people where I really, really care about the taste of my food. I do not care at all about the effect that my food has on me. I'm not a texture person. It is all flavor. And so if something tastes bad, I will not eat it. I will not drink it. No exceptions. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. But then, her behavior, whenever she just immediately found this extreme love for going to parties and getting drunk off her ass, even though she was underage, by the way, it was just the worst thing to me. And it got more and more to the point where I just couldn't handle it. So, I'll tell you guys more about it after I get these first few lines written. So what I have written so far is the stress that college was putting on my girlfriend was absolutely eating away at her health. She was taking 5 or more classes every semester. She was in a sorority and was also in a number of clubs and other things. And so, as a means of escaping the stress, she turned to alcohol. If you ask me, I think that the reason why our relationship failed is because she decided that getting blackout drunk at frat parties, not sorority parties, frat parties, was more important than maintaining a stable relationship with me. And she was also underage at the time. I had already decided that I was never going to drink because I just didn't like alcohol from a regular food and drink standpoint. But her behavior unquestionably cemented this harsh value in my mind. I made a vow to myself after our breakup that I would never drink no matter what, even if my own life depended on it, because I promised myself that I would not compromise my own values for another person, no matter who they were. So we're getting into the part of the show now where things are becoming more and more personal, and even just writing it now, it's bringing up old, angry emotions. It's like, I remember whenever her and I first broke up, I was super sad and 100% was depressed about it. It got to the point where I wouldn't talk to anybody. There were times when I just straight up wouldn't eat, and I would just do nothing but lay in bed, and it was actually affecting my health in a bad way. But of course, it was also my first breakup, and I was convinced at the time that we would be together for forever, basically. And then, it all collapsed, seemingly under me. Because, when I talk about earlier in the show about, the girl, whoever the girl is, not expressing to me her feelings in the way that she really feels, and, this whole lack of communication between us, my first girlfriend was the absolute prime example of that. I never knew what she was thinking. She was never honest to me about anything. She never communicated to me about how we feel. And so I never knew that anything was really wrong. I thought it was really suspicious that just kind of out of nowhere, she started drinking. And I 100% wasn't used to that. And I was getting more and more used to it as time went on. And then she breaks up with me seemingly out of the blue. And I didn't get it at the time. And then now, looking back, knowing what has happened, then, oh yeah, now I see all the signs. And it's one of those things where, why couldn't she just tell me how she was feeling inside when I'm your boyfriend, we had talks about wanting to get married soon and things like that. And yet, why is it that me, this person in your life who's supposed to be who's supposed to be one of the most important people to you, why is that the one person that you're not telling any of the important stuff to? And I didn't get it. And I still don't get it, honestly. I don't understand why people struggle to communicate. That's one of the reasons why so many relationships, not even just my own, but so many hundreds of millions of people's so many thousands of millions of people's relationships fails because they don't communicate. They don't talk to each other about the things that are important. They don't have times where they just sit on the bed or the couch and they talk about the things that they're worried about. They talk about the things that they're stressed out about. They don't talk in a productive manner that can help resolve those issues or get them more settled. And then the relationship fails, and then both people are left confused about how it happened. And it's just, or the person who gets broken up with is the one who's really left confused about how it happened. Because like I said, she broke up with me, and I straight up didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I had no idea how stressed out she was. Really, I could have guessed all I wanted, but I'm not the kind of person who likes to guess or make assumptions about people or what that person might be going through. And so, and it's just, and I just hated it so much. And it's just, and that's how it is. And it's just like, if you ask me, I will tell you straight up, I have a harsh hatred for alcohol. I hate alcohol. I can't stand it. You have no idea how much it pisses me off when I'm at work. And my work, we have a bar in our building. Like it's part of the building, it's part of the restaurant. And You have no idea how much it makes my blood boil whenever I'm at work and I see my coworkers on their days off just seemingly wasting away in the bar. Like it's your day off. It's your day off. Why are you here at work getting blackout drunk in the bar? Go spend your money on groceries or your bills or something that's going to last longer than a freaking $5 bottle of beer. It's just, it's not good financially. It doesn't benefit. It has almost no health benefits. It's just all these horrible, terrible things. And there's just, it's all these bad things that alcohol and beer does to your body with almost no benefits. The only real benefit I can think about, that I can think of when I think about people drinking is studies that say that having one glass of red wine a day could be good for your heart, but that's also a single glass of red wine. And they're just stupid. And I just can't stand it. And it's just one of those things where, like, if you walk up to me on the street and you hand me a bottle of beer or a bottle of wine, I will throw it in the trash first chance I get, because I don't even want to touch the stuff. I don't want to be around it. Just going inside of the bar at my work gives me a headache, and it pisses me off when I see all those people in there just wasting their money on alcohol. And I'm obviously very biased against it, but I obviously have good reason, and I'm writing about it right now. So, I promised myself that I would not compromise my own values for another person, no matter who they were. it's still broken. Still broken. And fixed. Okay. Whew. All right, this one is way longer than the first interlude. But of course, it's got a lot more passion in it because I'm much more angry about it. But, so, I'll read the whole thing. Hold on a second. Yeah. The stress that college was putting on my girlfriend was absolutely eating away at her health. She was taking 5 or more classes every semester. She was in a sorority and was also in a number of clubs and other things. And so, as a means of escaping the stress, she turned to alcohol. If you ask me, I think that the reason why our relationship failed is because she decided that getting blackout drunk at frat parties, not sorority parties, frat parties, was more important than maintaining a stable relationship with me. And she was also underage at the time. I had already decided that I was never going to drink because I just didn't like the alcohol from a regular food and drink standpoint. But her behavior unquestionably cemented this harsh value in my mind. I made a vow to myself after our breakup that I would never drink no matter what, even if my own life depended on it, because I promised myself that I would not compromise my own values for another person, no matter who they were. So, to put it simply, my girlfriend broke up with me after I told her that I didn't think that I could trust her after she was going out to these parties and getting so drunk that she couldn't stand up on her own without at least telling me where she was. And keep in mind that we always texted each other non-stop throughout the day, so me texting her and then her not texting back relatively soon was a huge red flag in my mind that she might be in trouble. Okay? I was almost never worried that she might be cheating on me. I was always worried instead about her safety. Because think about it. She's a young girl on a large college campus where there's a lot of parties happening. She's getting really drunk. Can you imagine how easy it would be for someone to slip a drug into her drink without her noticing? I was so worried about something like that happening that I was throwing up at a pretty regularly from the stress. And the part that killed me the most was that she never once asked me to come to any of these parties with her. You're not cheating on me. You're perfectly safe in your drunken state. I have no reason to not trust you. What an absolute load of horse shit. Right. Yes. Sorry. I have to stop myself from getting too angry whenever I read this. It happened years ago now, so. And honestly, I shouldn't be so upset about it still, but it's just, yeah. So I shouldn't be so upset about it still, but, you know, it's just one of those things where it scars you. Maybe not for life, but for a pretty long time. So, okay, but I got interlude 2 written. We are 4 pages into this scene, or into the show. So, I think I'm making good progress. I don't expect this show to be done soon. I'll probably have finished writing it by the time I graduate, I'm hoping, especially if I work on it like every night, or at least once every few days. The only problem with that is I'm still not really sure how long I want it to be, but I might have an idea. So, but thank you all for watching. If you stuck around all the way to this point, then I commend you, and you are a true trooper. I love you. If you enjoyed the video, then, as always, please leave a like, and please subscribe to my channel to see more content just like this. You have no idea how much it helps me out and how much it motivates me whenever I see that my subscriber count has gone up. It really helps me so much. You have no idea. If you have any comments you want to make, or words of encouragement, or anything similar like that, please do not hesitate to leave it in the comment section. I will 100% read it, and I will definitely react to it in one way or another. With that being said, thank you very much for watching, and until next time.